Hello, everyone, and welcome to my buddy, Mr. English. This is the fourth day of the 30-day English Shadowing Challenge. Today, we'll keep practicing shadowing to help you speak more naturally. Remember, shadowing means you listen to English and repeat along with or just after the speaker. After each sentence, I'll explain one useful vocabulary word or phrase so you can learn while you practice speaking. Let's begin. First, listen carefully, then repeat after me when I speak. I'll stop for a short moment after each line so you have time to repeat. Yesterday afternoon, I was heading to an important meeting when my bus suddenly stopped. At first, I assumed it was a short pause, but the minutes slowly passed. Now try shadowing me again. Yesterday afternoon, I was heading to an important meeting when my bus suddenly stopped. At first, I assumed it was a short pause, but the minutes slowly passed. Now, let's check the vocabularies. Heading to. It means you are going toward a place or moving in the direction of a destination. In simple words, it shows where you're going. We use heading to when talking about plans, movement, or travel, whether it's now, soon, or already happening. It sounds very natural in everyday conversation. Assumed. It means you believed something was true without being completely sure. In simple words, you thought something was true, but you didn't have full proof. We use assumed when talking about thoughts, beliefs, or expectations, especially when later we find out we were wrong or unsure. Now, let's shadow the next line. Passengers began to exchange glances, clearly confused by the delay. Soon, the driver announced there had been a minor technical issue. Now try shadowing me again. Passengers began to exchange glances, clearly confused by the delay. Soon, the driver announced there had been a minor technical issue. Let me explain important words from that line. To exchange glances. It means two or more people look at each other briefly, often without speaking. In simple words, they share a quick look. We use it when people communicate silently, maybe because they are surprised, confused, or thinking the same thing. It's very common in stories, movies, and real-life situations. Minor. It means small or not serious. In simple words, it describes something that is not important or not severe. We use minor when talking about problems, injuries, mistakes, or details that don't have a big impact. It's common in daily conversation, news, and explanations. Let's do the next sentence. Although I felt anxious about arriving late, I reminded myself to stay calm. I took out my phone, reviewed my notes, and made use of the waiting time. Now try shadowing me again. Although I felt anxious about arriving late, I reminded myself to stay calm. I took out my phone, reviewed my notes, and made use of the waiting time. Now, let's break down the key vocabularies. Anxious. It means you feel worried, nervous, or uneasy, usually because you're thinking about something that might happen. In simple words, your mind can't fully relax. We use anxious when talking about feelings, especially before important events like exams, interviews, trips, or waiting for news. Made use of. It means you used something, especially in a helpful or practical way. In simple words, you took advantage of something available. We use made use of when talking about resources, time, opportunities, or tools, often to show that nothing was wasted. It sounds slightly more formal than just saying used. Let's move on to the next line. Eventually, the bus started moving again, and we reached the destination safely. The meeting began later than planned, but everything worked out in the end. Now try shadowing me again. Eventually, the bus started moving again, and we reached the destination safely. The meeting began later than planned, but everything worked out in the end. Let's learn a helpful word from what you just repeated. Eventually. It means after some time, especially after delays, problems, or several steps. In simple words, it shows that something finally happened. We use eventually when talking about results or outcomes, often in stories where things don't happen immediately, but they do happen in the end. Later than planned. It means something happened after the expected or scheduled time. In simple words, it happened later than you originally intended. We use later than planned when talking about schedules, travel, meetings, or tasks that didn't go exactly as expected. Let's go to the last sentence. That experience taught me that patience often turns frustration into control. Now try shadowing me again. That experience taught me that patience often turns frustration into control. Here's an important word from that sentence. Turns into. It means something changes and becomes something else. In simple words, one thing becomes different over time. We use turns into when talking about change or transformation, especially in stories, daily situations, or explanations. Great job today! If you want to keep improving your English, join this 30-day shadowing challenge and practice with me every day. Like the video, subscribe, and comment ready to stay motivated and not miss the next lesson. I'll see you in day 5.